أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين محمد وأهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما الإمام المنتظر الحجة الثاني عشر روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد والفرقان الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, hope everyone is well.
Walaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalam. Inshallah, hope everyone is well. And can everyone hear me loud and clearly?
Yes. Shukr alhamdulillah.
Right. Okay. Now, what I'm planning to do today. So first of all, remind us what have we done. What have we covered so far, and what did we do a fortnight ago?
We have done the sounds of the nouns and the verbs, and then we have done the negation for la, lam, and lan.
Yep.
And present tense negation.
Yep.
Negation. That's what we have done.
Correct. So
and a little bit of imperatives.
Yep. Correct. I'm going to explain this. And once I've done this, then I want to cover something else with yourselves. And inshallah, see how things progress, inshallah. So give me 1 minute. And I'll just get everything on the screen for you. Okay, let's start. Okay, let me just do a recap, and I'm going to test everyone as well. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is that in the Quran, you have different tenses of the present tense mentioned in the Quran. And for you to understand the meaning of the present tense being used in the different tenses, it's important that I teach you this because we're on book 3. And it's essential that everyone understands. Now, how many forms are there of the verb? So we have the past tense form, we have the present tense form, and we have the imperative. Imperative meaning amr, order. And also imperative is when you order someone, and there's also a negation as well. A negation, for example, la tadrib, you should not hit, or la ta'kul, you should not eat. So there in total, past tense, present tense, imperative, and negation. So there are 4 different types of verb tenses which we will come across. Is everyone listening? Yeah?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Let me go one step backwards. I want to because we have a good size as well of students today. So I'm going to go one step backwards because this is essential, because I want to, inshallah, I want to prepare yourself now, start to read text in Arabic and so forth. Now, all of the past tense verbs, they are indeclinable. They are indeclinable. And the past tense has only one form. Like the present tense, it sometimes comes with a sukoon, sometimes it comes with a fatha, sometimes it comes with a dhamma. the past tense, it's only one solid form and formation itself. There's no other formation of the past tense. Yes, the harakat may change. That sometimes it has the middle letter has a fatha, sometimes it has a kasra, and sometimes a dhamma. That happens, but there are no different tenses of the past tense according to the harakat itself. So the past tense, the endings itself, the way they come, they are as it is. They are called indeclinable, like preposition, as you've been told, they're indeclinable. And the past tense, as you are aware, every verb, what does every verb require? Every verb requires a
File, a
file.
doer.
Yes. Now, each of the past tense verb, they have suffixes which are added at the end of the verb of the three-letter verb. So in the Arabic language, minimum letters for a verb is three. That like dhahaba. But in dhahaba, there is no suffix attached to it. So the pronoun here in Arabic, we call it mustatirun, hidden. Mustatirun, hidden. In huma, we have the additional letter of the alif, which is the suffix which has been added, which gives the meaning of dual, dhahaba. And in dhahabu, we have added the waw and alif, the waw and the alif. So remember this, and the letter preceded before the alif and the waw always will be with a dhamma. Dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu. And then, so this is called the waw of plural, waw al-jama'a, the waw for plural for the masculine. And then we go on to the female forms. As you know, there are 14 forms, 6 for third person, 6 for the second person, and 2 for the speaker. And in dhahabat, we have this ta to differentiate the difference between the masculine and the feminine form. And this is called the suffix for feminine. This is a suffix to show feminine, not a pronoun itself. It's just a sign of feminine. This one here. And the fa'il is mustatirun again. In Arabic, this is called ta'ut ta'nith, the sign of feminine. And then as you'll see in dhahaba, we have added the alif, and they both females, because the reason why I'm going through this again, because the more I repeat it, the better it will sink in, and it'll be a good revision for everyone. Then we have dhahabata. Ta is the sign of feminine, and alif is the sign of?
Dual.
Correct. Thank you, Sister Kulsum. So we have dhahaba ta. So dhahaba ta, and please, a lot of people are making this mistake that they forget that all three letters before the ta, alif, ta, for they both females are mutaharrik bil fat. They are mutaharrik. They should be with harakat. Dhahaba ta, not dhahabat ta. It's a dhahaba ta. Dhahabata. Yeah, dhahabata. And then the sixth form, for the sixth form, the third letter verb of the three-letter verb dhahaba will have a sukoon. And this noon here, which has been added, is the noonun niswa, which is the sign of, which is a suffix, and the sign of feminine, exactly. And then from onwards, from the 7th to the 14th, we add these suffixes ta, tuma, tum, ti, tuma, tunna, to, anna. Ta, tuma, tum, ti, tuma, tunna, to, anna. These are the suffixes which represents the detached pronouns, which is huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, and nahnu. Anyone has any questions so far? Anyone have any questions?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Is this
No,
clear for
no.
everyone? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
doctor. Is that, Assalamu alaikum, doctor. Is that clear for you?
Yes, sir, very clear, mashallah.
Brilliant. Okay, that's perfect. And so these things are essential for you to understand. So if you want to say you went, you add ta. You two male went tuma. You all tum. You one female t. You two females tuma. Tunna, to is an I, and na is we. Now these are the suffixes which represents who is performing the verb itself. Right, let me go one step backwards as well. Now, with regards to the nouns, these are the ones. So these are the detached pronouns. So in the Arabic language, there are two types of pronouns as well. There are attached pronouns, which attach to a verb, and there are pronouns which come independently. So these are the independent pronouns which are written in the next to the verbs as well. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, and nahnu. And these ones over here are the ones which attach to a noun, and they will attach with a complete verb. So for example, huwa is the detached pronoun. Who is the attached pronoun which attaches to a verb. So these, for example, I'll give you an example. Darabtahu. Darabtahu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ya Sister Kanwal Masroor or Sister Farhat. Anyone unmute yourself? Darabtahu.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam. How are you, Sister Farhat? And what will be the translation of Darabtahu?
Zarabtahu is she. Zarabtahu.
You. Darabta means you.
Hit.
You hit him.
You hit him. Okay.
So darabta, so the doer of darabta is you, and him is coming in the place of an object. Darabtahu. And if I say to Sister Farhat, darabtiha.
You hit her.
You hit her, exactly. Darabaka.
You hit.
No, daraba, he hit, ka.
He hit you.
Exactly. And if I say darabaki, he hit
her, you, feminine.
No, he hit
right?
you. He hit you. Darabaki,
feminine.
daraba, he hit you.
You is the feminine though, right?
You is the feminine, yes, right. And then if I want you to say daraba na, he hit us.
Us.
So now I'm going to give you examples here. Now, if Sister Farhad, I want you to go through all of these. Kitabuhu, kitabuhuma. So these here, what's happening? These pronouns are coming as mudaf, mudaf ilay, and they are in the place of mudaf ilay, these. But because, like if you look at the example, kitabu Muhammadin, Muhammad's book is mudaf and mudaf ilay. But the Muhammadin, it gets a kasra tanween. Now these pronouns which are coming with the noun, they are in the place of receiving a kasra. They should get a kasra, but because they are pronouns, all pronouns are indeclinable. They don't show the harakat or the position where they are situated in. So the harakat is hidden. So Their position here is in the place of mudaf ilay. So if you can kindly go through all of them, and then inshallah I'll continue the lesson and move on. Kitabuhu.
Kitabuhu, his book.
Mhm.
Kitabuhuma, their two-person book, masculine. Kitabuhum, their book, plural, masculine. Kitabuha, her book. Kitabuhuma, their two-person feminine book. Kitabuhunna, their book, plural, feminine. Kitabuka, your book, masculine. Kitabukuma, your two people's book, masculine. Kitabukum, your book, plural, masculine. Kitabuki, your book, feminine. Kitabukuma, your two people book, feminine. Kitabukunna, your book, two people, plural, feminine.
Excellent.
Kitabi, my book. Kitabuna, our book.
Is this clear for everyone now?
Yes.
Does anyone have any question on this? No? Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now let me move on. Now, the next thing I need to cover is the present tense. Does anyone need these handouts, which you don't have?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll send these handouts out to yourselves. Right. Okay. Is it Maghrib time in wherever, which different states you are? If it's Maghrib time,
Toronto has it at 6:20.
is it now? Yeah, Toronto. Okay. How many of you are from Toronto? So if you want to take a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break, by all means you can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you can take a 10-minute. Toronto and New York's the same time, pretty much, I think.
Yeah, New York is the same time.
Yeah. So if you didn't take a break, by all means take a break, and inshallah.
Ours is not until the next 15 minutes, 6:36 local time
Where's this?
in North Carolina, USA.
Okay, that's fine. So
Same
what-
thing. So if we can keep going, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, what we'll do here now, now the present tense. Now, with regards to the present tense, you will find the following things. Now, with the present tense, in the past tense, we had suffixes added at the end, but in the present tense, we have prefix and suffixes. So in yaktubu, we have a prefix ya, and every verb needs to have a pronoun which illustrates who's performing the action. Like the past tense, daraba doesn't have a suffix. The present tense doesn't have a suffix. The pronoun is called mustatirun, hidden. And then in huma yaktubani, we add the prefix ya, and we add the alif. Sorry. And in yaktubu, we also added a dhamma at the end. This is essential. That the original state of the present tense, the original state of the present tense is that the last letter should end with a dhamma. The singular forms. So these are the singular forms. Yaktubu, taktubu 2, taktubu 3.
Naktubu, aktubu.
Let me just highlight them so that it's clearer for everyone. This one, this one, and aktubu and naktubu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 forms, their original state is with a dhamma ending itself. So this is the original state of the present tense. Then in the duals, now in the dual, the alif, so in yaktubani, the alif here, this alif here, which has been added, is the sign of dual. Alif is the sign of dual, and the noon, this noon with a kasra, which is in the present tense, this noon is added at the end of the present tense to demonstrate that the present tense is in its original form. So in the singulars, you have the dhamma. In the duals, yaktubani. Let me change the color of this, because the reason why I'm going through this phase, because this is crucial. Let me just change the color to this color. No, it's not a good color. I think green, that would be good. Yes. Yaktubu, yaktubani, taktubani, taktubani, taktubani. So how many are there? Dr. Ahmed?
4 of them.
Yeah, so can you, so yaktubani, can you read them please? Huma yaktubani, they both.
Huma yaktubani. Huma taktubani.
Excellent.
And then Antuma taktubani. Antum taktubani.
Correct.
And then Antuma taktubani.
Correct. Excellent. Now these forms here, all of them it has a noon with a kasra. Now this noon with a kasra, which is added at the end, is demonstrated that the present tense is in its original form. The original form of the present tense is that the singular verb, as I explained earlier, should have a dhamma. But on these ones here, we add the noon with a kasra. Is this clear, everyone?
So,
Yes.
Sheikh, this is Kulsum. I just wanted clarification.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, sorry.
Alaikum salam.
So basically what you're saying is that the past tense does not decline, it is sort of fixed. But the
Yes.
present tense, that it can change, and having the noon with the kasra actually tells you that it is in its original form and has not been affected by anything in front
Preceding
of
it. Exactly. That's the reason why. Now, thank you for putting it in that format, because I sometimes when you teach things, you want students to answer questions to summarize what you have taught. So what you have done is perfect, and that's what I wanted, someone to mention what you have mentioned, so that I can move on and explain something as well. Remember when we did imperatives? Does anyone remember the imperatives, when we did imperatives?
Yes.
Remember when we did the imperatives, what happened is that we said it's made from the second person, Anta taktubu, and we drop the harf al-mudari, and we make the last letter with a sukun. Exactly. So when the present tense is made into an imperative format, what happens? The noons are dropped. Remember, we talked about the noons when we was making the imperatives?
Yes.
That is the reason why. Dr. Ahmed, you remember I said from taktubu is uktub, taktubani is uktuba, taktubuna is uktubu, taktubina is uktubi, taktubani is uktuba, taktubna is uktubna. So the noons are dropped in the duals, and the noon is dropped in the singular as well. But except that the 12th form, taktubna, this noon remains, because this noon is not a sign of a sign, is not a doer, a fa'il, but is a sign of feminine.
Mubni.
It's mabni, ahsanti, yes. Now what's happening here now, because fi'l mudari is coming with a sukoon, so the present tense is in its different form now. It's a form of sukoon. So in the singulars, you get the sukoon, and in the duals and the plurals of the masculine, the noons are dropped. So it's called fi'l mudari So a present tense, when it has a sukoon in the singular forms, it's called fi'l mudari majzoom. Majzoom meaning that it's in the state of jazm. Does that make sense to everyone now? So when the singular verb of the present tense gets a sukoon, and in the duals the noon is dropped, and in the plurals the noon is dropped, this is called fi'l mudari majzoom. That meaning having a sukoon at the end. Is this clear so far? Or of course I will explain it more in detail, but I will just trying to explain something which we have done before.
I think so.
It's clear. It's clear.
Can you
Yes.
see? So this is one. So what you'll see is that things which I've taught you already, I'll be filling in those gaps where the topping is required on top to give you a crystal clear understanding. Sometimes I can't do it immediately because if you teach too much points to remember and technicalities, it becomes overwhelming. So when you go back to revert back to it, it makes much more clearer understanding for yourself. Right, then let me continue now. Then we have yaktubuna. Now in yaktubuna, we have the waw and the noon. So yaktubuna, we have the waw and the noon. We have the suffix ya, and we have the waw and the noon. So the waw is the sign of masculine plural, and the noon is the sign to show that the present tense is in its original form. It has not been preceded by any particle which will make it in the state of jazm, or by a particle which will make the singular, because okay, let me ask this question. How many tenses are there for the present tense? I did mention that 2 weeks ago. Do you remember that?
Two.
Future tense.
Present tense. The present tense has 3 tenses or 3 different states. It can either come with a dhamma, it can either come with a fatha, or either come with a sukoon. These are the 3 states for the present tense: dhamma, fatha, or a sukoon. And let me give you this term. If you now, so when it comes with a sukoon, it's called mansoob, al-mansoob. So when the last letter comes with a sukoon, it's called mansoob, like yansura. Originally the verb should be yansuru, but it's coming yansura because of lan. When lan comes in front of present tense, it changes the present tense last letter from a dhamma to a fatha, and lan gives the meaning will not do. So when we say lan yansura, means he will not help. He will not help, future tense. And majzoom, when the last letter has a sukoon. So the particle lam, when that comes in front of present tense, the last letter gets a sukoon. So it becomes lam yansur. He did not help. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Is this clear?
I will get the.
This one more time, because the arrows are the ones that confuse me.
Sorry, what was that?
The arrows here confuse me.
Okay, don't worry. I'll explain the arrows later. I'll come back to that. I'm just trying to explain that. I'm going to explain this in more detail, but let me finish this off and I'll come back and I'll explain that to you.
Perfect.
That's fine. So then we have, so here, hum yaktubuna, waw and noon. The waw is the sign of plural masculine, and the noon is the sign to show the present tense is in its original form. And here, taktubu, we add the prefix ta. There is no pronoun which represents here. It's mustatirun. In huma you have the ta prefix and ani, and the alif is a sign of jewel, and the noon is the sign of noon with a kasra is a sign to show the present tense in its original form. And in hunna, yaktubna, the ya and the noon with a fatha has been added to show that they all wrote, they all were writing. So the noon is the sign of feminine, and this is a sign of feminine, but not the pronoun. So it's mabni. In all of the three states of the present tense, it remains indeclined, or it's non-changeable. Anyone have any questions? Any questions from anyone?
No.
It's very quiet today. Is it everyone's understanding or everyone's so tired?
No, it makes sense.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So the reason why I'm doing this, I'm trying to incorporate everything which I need to prepare yourselves to start understanding the Quran. So that's the reason why I'm covering the present tense, different tenses as well. And then once I've done this, then I'll go through the different patterns of the verbs, 4-letter verbs, 5-letter verbs. So once I've done that, that's one part. And then inshallah, the other thing I need to cover is the Arabic grammar, the harakat, what harakats nouns will get in the different scenarios. Once I've taught both of them, then I'll be able to start practicing with yourselves, reading the Quran, trying to explain the harakat of the Quran, and trying to understand the meaning of the Quran, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Right. Then we have Anta taktubu. So in Anta taktubu, in this form, the ta is a prefix, but there is no sign which represents the fa'il. So the fa'il, the anta is mustatir, is hidden. And in antuma, the ta is a prefix added, and alif and the noon, alif is a sign of jewel, noon is a sign to show the present tense in its original form. And antum taktubuna, prefix ta, waw noon, waw is a sign of plural, noon with a fatha is a sign to show the present tense is in its original form. And in anti taktubina, you one female is writing. We have the ya, sign of anti. Remember this. In taktubu, there's no sign of masculine. In taktubina, you have the sign, the ya. The ya is the sign of the sign of the fa'il of the sign of fa'il, the doer of the action, anti. So this is a sign. So, and that's the reason why I'll go to the imperatives and explain that. And the noon is a sign to show the present tense in its original form. And antuma taktubani, as we've done that already. Alif is a sign of jewel. Noon is the sign to show the present tense. So when I mean the original state, it's called alamatu raf. Alamatu raf. Raf means the sign of showing the present tense in its original form. So the present tense original form is normally called raf, is the actual word, the state, meaning in its case. And when the noun, when the present tense in its original form is also called marfu', marfu'un, raf'un or marfu'un, fi'l mudari, marfu', marfu' meaning the present tense in its original state, marfu'un. Do you want me to write that word marfu'un? I think we've done this word before. Yeah, so if you see over, where's it gone? Let me show you here. No, it hasn't got an accent, this one. Right, then in antuma taktubani, you have the alif, the sign of jewel, mufanna, noon the kasra to show the present tense in the state of raf. And then antunna taktubna, the noon is a sign of feminine, noonul niswa. And again, this form number 6, yaktubna and taktubna. In all of the 3 different states of the present tense, this form does not change. it remains the same. Antunna taktubna, it's mabni. This form does not change. Aktubu and naktubu, the alif is the prefix, and the pronouns for the fa'il in both of them, in aktubu and naktubu, is mustatirun. Right. Does anyone have any questions on this handout so far? Any questions from anyone?
What is this marfoon? The noun in the present sense is called raf or marfoon?
Raf is the state, and this when the verb is in that state, it's called marfu. I'll write that word marfu for you. Marfu. Yeah.
Are you going to send us this handout?
Yes, I'll send this handout to yourself.
Thank you.
I'll send this. Yep. Who is our sister Najma? Najla? Marfu mansoob.
No,
Yeah.
that's the name.
Okay.
नहीं मैंने कहा था
हाँ.
Okay. That was correct. Marfu, mansoob, and majzoom.
Hmm.
Okay, let's move on. I'm just going to send this across. And I'll send you okay, I'll send them now to you. Right, okay, let's move on. I'll send you the present tense one in a few minutes. Right, now, from moving on from here now, this is the original state of the present tense. And I was going to send you the word marfu across to yourselves. Just give me 1 second. Let me just send that across to you. Yeah. Okay, I'll send it in a few seconds. I don't want to waste your time. Then we did with yourselves. I'll use this to explain for you. Now, when we did the imperatives, I mentioned to yourself that the imperatives are made from the second person.
Mm.
And the second person, the singular verbs, will have the singular verb, the dhamma at the end will be removed
Sukoon.
to sukoon. And the duals and the plurals, the noon with a kasra at the end has to be removed as well. And in the singular form, in taktubina, this noon is also removed. And taktubani, the noon is removed. In taktubna, this noon remains. So this is a state of fi'l mudhari majzoom. So the imperatives is the state is a state of the present tense in the state of majzoom. Majzoom meaning that the imperatives change the present tense in the sense in the state of sukoon, that the singular verb should have a sukoon, and the duals and the plurals and the singular feminine, the noons will be dropped. And that is the reason why the noons are dropped, because the present tense is no longer in its original form. Now it's changed to a different form itself. And to demonstrate the imperative, the sukoon is the sign for the imperatives. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Right. Now, I need to explain.
This will
some-
need a lot of practice.
Yeah, of course. I'll give you plenty of practice. When I start the Quran reading, I'll give you plenty of practice. That's not an issue at all. Now, there are now the question which arises now is only the imperative the only means of making the present tense in the state of majzoom. Majzoom meaning that the singular letter will have a sukoon, and the dual and the plurals, the noons will be dropped. Is the imperative the only way of making the present tense in fi'l mudari majzoom? The answer is no. The answer is no. You can also have lam. You can also have
Lam.
lam. Lam is also a particle. Let me change the color to red, which will make the present tense, make it bigger. Will make it let me make it bigger. That's it. Which will also make the present tense in the state of sukoon. So when lam comes in all of the 14 forms. Lam comes in all of the 14 forms. But when we make the imperative, amr hadir, the amr imperative is for the second person. But lam itself, it comes in all of the 14 forms. And when we make the imperative, we drop the ta's. Remember? Do you remember when we made the imperative? Tadribu became idrib. In the second form, or the second person, the ta's or the sign of present tense is removed. Yes, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when lam comes, the prefixes of the present tense, they remain in the 14 forms. The prefixes remain in the 14 forms when lam comes. The only changes occur is at the end, that in the singulars, lam yansur, the dhamma changes to a
Sukoon.
sukoon. Yes, if you speak with me, I know that everyone's understanding. Originally, it was the original state of the present tense was yansurani, and it became, because it's a fi'l mudari majzoom, we have to drop.
Noon.
So it becomes, Sister Tasneem,
Yunsara. Yunsara.
lam yansura.
Lam yunsara.
Lam yansura, correct. They both did not help. And then yansuruna is the original state of the present tense. When it becomes in the state of fi'l mudari majzoom, it becomes lam
Yansuru.
That's right, lam yansuru. They did not help. Right. Sister Najla, can you continue and explain?
Explain this Yansuru.
Yeah, lam. If lam tansur, and explain it from present, original, this is the present tense. And then when lam comes, this is the outcome. There's a mistake here on the handout. They put a dhamma on the last letter. It shouldn't be a dhamma, it should be a sukoon. There should be a sukoon there.
Lam tansuru.
Lam tansur.
Lam tansur.
Yeah, there's a mistake there. Bismillah, let's Najla.
Sheikh, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
Can I explain, Sheikh?
Go ahead then. Go ahead.
All right. So the next one we're doing is hiya, and the present tense is tansuru. So if we add lam, then it's going to be lam tansur. The wow will become a sukoon.
Dhamma will become a sukoon.
Dhamma will become a sukoon.
Correct.
And then for huma is tansurani. So when we change it to lam, we're going to drop the noon, and we're going to make it lam tansura.
Lam tansura, correct.
And then for hunna, it's yansuru. surna. We'll keep the noon this time, and it'll be lam yansurna.
Correct.
And then for anta, it's tansuru. And for lam, we're gonna drop the dhamma and make it a sukoon. It'll be lam tansur.
Correct.
And then antuma, it's tansurani, and we'll drop the noon. We'll make it lam tansura.
Mhm.
For antum, it's tansuruna. Again, we're gonna drop the noon, and we'll make it lam tansura.
Lam
Tans-
tansuru.
Tansuru. Lam tansuru. And then for anti, it's tansurina. We'll drop the noon and add the ye because that's the sign of feminine, and we'll make it lam tansuri.
Lam tansuri. The ya was already there, so we haven't added it. We just dropped the noon. It was tansurina,
Okay.
and it became
All
lam
right. Because
tansuri.
am I looking at the amar form, or am I looking at the
No, you're looking over here now.
mans?
You
Okay.
need to, this is the form where you need to look at. You need to look over here.
Yeah. So wasn't there a noon there?
Yeah, the noon is yeah.
And then we dropped
tansurina.
it. Yeah. We
There's
dropped
ya
that noon.
already. Yeah, tansurina. There's ya and noon. So the noon is
Oh,
dropped.
right. Before, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. So the ya is for the feminine form, you said, right?
Yep.
And then we drop the noon and then tansuri. And then for antuma, it's tansurani. And we'll drop the noon. It'll be lam tansura. For antunna, it's tansurna. And we'll make that lam tansurna. We'll keep it the same. And then ana, ansuru, it'll be lam ansur. And then for nahnu, it's nahnu nansuru. We're gonna drop the dhamma and make it lam nansur.
Excellent. Is this clear for everyone so far?
Shukr alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Just a Kanwal Masroor, you're next on the mic, please.
Oh my God.
I have to bring people on mic because it's a mean of satisfaction for me that what I'm teaching everyone's understanding, because by repeating Ar-Rahman, Allam al-Bayan. So speaking
Yes.
is a way of knowing, and it's a really important way of expressing yourself. And it may allows me to understand that everyone's understanding, because there's no point me teaching when the students are left behind lesson number 1. Bismillah.
So I have to read this again.
No, we're doing the next sheet now. It's from yadribu now. So yadribu, yadribani is the original state of the present tense. And when lam comes, when lam comes, the last letter in the singular will have a sukoon. The dual and the plural masculines, the noons are dropped.
Okay.
Bismillah. Explain. So yadribu, he is hitting. And when lam comes, it makes a fi'l mudari from its original state from marfu to majzoom. It will become lam yadrib. He did not
Hit.
Bismillah. Continue this way.
Homa
Yadribani.
Homa yadribani.
Correct.
Lam yadriba.
Excellent. Translation. If you do the translation, this will make this will be a good
Translation?
way. Yeah, that would be a good way of you memorizing it as well.
Yeah. They both muscular did not hit.
Excellent.
Hum yazribuna.
Yep.
Lam yazribu. He
Correct.
dropped noon, and they did not hitting.
Excellent. They do not hit.
They did not hit. Hiya tazribu. Hiya lam tazrib.
Excellent.
He did not. She did not hit.
Correct.
Homa yazribani. Lam yazriba. They both female did not hit.
Correct.
Should this be tazribani?
Sorry.
Should this be tazribani?
No. Yeah, there should be. There's a mistake here. There should be Yeah, there should be, there's a mistake there. It should be tadriba. Tadribani to tadriba. Yes, you're right.
هن يضربن. لم يضربن. They did not hit.
Correct.
All. Anta تضرب. Anta تضرب. لم تضرب.
Correct.
He is not hitting. He did not hit.
No, you did not hit.
Oh, sorry. You did not hit.
Mhm.
Antuma tazribani and lam tazriba. You both did not hit.
Correct. Antum.
Antum tazribuna and lam tazribu. They all did not hit.
Correct.
Anti tazribina and lam tazribi.
Correct.
You did not hit. Antuma tazribani, antuma lam tazriba. They did not hit.
You, not
Antona
you both females did not.
Sorry, you both did not hit. Antona tazribna. Lam tazribna. You all did not hit.
Correct. Ana.
Azribu. Ana azribu.
Mhm.
Lam azrib. I did not hit.
Nahnu.
Nano nazriba. Nano nazribu. Lam nazrib. We did not hit.
Excellent. Is this clear for you now?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Perfect. Next person,
Thank you
sister.
so much.
Sister Kulthum Behmani.
Salam, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I'm gonna bring everyone on the mic. So please be prepared. So yaftahu, he is opening. When fi'l mudari marfu comes, manzub comes, it becomes lam yaftah. He did not open. Bismillah.
Okay. Yaftahu, he opened. Lam yaftah, he did not open. Yaftahani, they both opened. Lam yaftaha, they did not open. Masculine 2. Yaftahuna, they all opened. Male. Lam yaftahu, they did not open. Plural male. Taftahu, she opened. Lam yaftah, she did not open. Taftahani, they both opened. Female. Lam taftaha,
Lam
they did not.
yaftahna. Lam
Oh, sorry. Lam yaftaha.
yaftahna.
No, that is for the duo.
Yeah, so yaftah. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
Yaftaha.
Correct.
Yaftahna, plural females, they opened. Lam yaftahna, plural females, they did not open. Taftahu, you open. Lam taftah, you did not open. Male. Taftahani, you both open. Lam taftaha, you both did not open. Taftahuna, you all open. Male. Lam taftahu, you all did not open. Taftahina, am I correct? Yeah.
Yep.
Taftahina, you female did not open. Lam taftahi, you did not open. Taftahani, you both female did open. Lam taftaha, you both did not open. Taftahna, you all open. Lam taftahna, you all did not open. Aftahu, you open. Lam aftah, you did not open. Naftahu, we all open. Lam naftah, we did not open.
Right, brilliant. Now let me explain something here now. Like I mentioned when I mentioned about fi'l mudari majzum, is it only the imperatives which make the present tense in the state of majzum? I said no. Now, the next question I'm going to ask is this. Apart from lam and the imperatives, are there any other particles which will make the present tense in the state of majzum? Yes, there are. What are they? I'll
Ma.
mention now.
Is it
La,
ma?
la.
La.
Yeah, when la comes, means la, for example, la yaftah means he did not open. La yaftah, he did not open. So when la comes, there are two types of la. There's la nahiya, which means the la for negation, and there is la nafi. So la nahiya means he did not open. So when la comes, so these arrows which are here, it points that whatever is the actual structure of the present tense with lam, the same thing happened when la and nahiya comes. So you will see the word la coming in present tense, and it will be la yaftah. And when it's the dual, all of this is what these arrows mean. Is this clear, Sister Kulsum now?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So the arrow, when the arrows are pointing towards the other direction, it means that this present tense in the state of lam is the same ruling for these ones over here with the arrows. And when they have wrote the actual word that or the present tense itself, it means that the pronunciation of the word, the harakat of the word is different.
I see.
That's what it means. Now, I'm going to move on. I'm going to ask Sister Salma.
Sheikh, before you go, one thing.
Yep.
When it is going to the opposite side, so where you said lan, so let's say
I'll do that. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
You're one step ahead of me. So
Okay,
when
sorry.
when it is pointed towards the right hand side, and when it points towards the left hand side, I'll explain that. I'm going to just do one more student, Sister Salma, and then I'll do the lan explanation, what lan does.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam. Tafaddali. Can you do the imperative as the lam, which
imperative?
is no the lam from ya'lamu to lam ya'lam. He did not know.
Yes. Okay. So ya'lamu becomes ya'lam, lam ya'lam.
Yep.
Which means he did not know.
Correct.
Ya'lamani becomes ya'lama, the noon is dropped, and the alif denotes dual. Ya'lamuna becomes ya'lamu, where the noon is dropped, and the waw alif denote plural. Ta'lamu becomes ta'lam, meaning she did not know. It becomes a sukun ending. Ta'lamani becomes ta'lama, the noon gets dropped, the alif denotes dual. Ya'lamna becomes ya'lamna, because it's feminine, we have to leave it as is. Then we have ta'lamu becomes ta'lam, where the dhamma ending becomes a sukun ending. Ta'lamani becomes ta'lama, the noon gets dropped, and the alif denotes two. Ta'lamuna becomes ta'lamu, so then the noon gets dropped, the waw alif denote plural ending. Ta'lamina becomes ta'lami, because the noon gets dropped and the ya has a sukun. Ta'lamani becomes ta'lama, we drop the noon and leave the alif to denote dual. Ta'lamna remains ta'lamna because of femininity. A'lamu becomes a'lam, so the dhamma ending changes to a sukun ending. And then na'lamu becomes na'lam, again, the dhamma ending changes to a sukun ending.
Excellent. Sister Najla, are you ready now? Would you be able to come on the mic now?
Yes, sir.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Let's do this one over here.
Okay. Nasara Yansuru.
Yep.
Okay. So in Nasara, the Yansuru, he
Is
did
helping.
not.
So Yansur, he is helping, and the Lam Yansur, he did not.
He did not help.
Correct.
So in this, towards the end, you have a sukoon.
Correct.
And then Huma Yansurani, they both, the two of them did not help. So Huma Yansura.
Lam Yansura.
Lam Yansura, sorry.
Yep.
Lam Yansura.
Correct.
Now, Hum Yansuruna, they all did not help. So it will be Lam Yansuru.
Correct.
The noon will be dropped.
Excellent.
And we will have an alif at the end. Now here, so it'll be lam tansuru. So it'll be like a zama in the end, right?
No,
Is it a
sukoon.
zama or it's a sukoon?
It should be a
Sukoon,
sukoon.
sukoon.
Yeah, there's a
It's
mistake here.
sukoon in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a little. And then huma, both of them females did not help. Huma tunsara.
Tansura. Tansura.
Tansura. So there is an alif at the end which denotes the two females. And then hunna tansurna. So hunna is lam yansurna. And because this is for a female, so it is mabni. That's why the noon stays there.
Excellent.
Then huma anta lam tansur. So he they did not help.
Correct.
So in the end you have a sakoon.
Correct.
Antuma, so lam tansura. So this denotes dual, and the alif denotes the dual in the end.
Excellent.
And then antum, so lam tansuru. This is also the alif denotes the plural.
Yep.
Yes. And then lam tans, is it tans? I can't read it very well. The first letter, tansuri?
Yeah, tansuri.
Tansuri. So you female did not help. Lam tansura, you both did not help. Alif is donating the two female. And then lam tansurna.
Correct.
This is again noon is donating the females, and it is mubni. It never changes because it donates the female. Now ana ansur, there is in the end there is a lam ansur, is there is a sakoon at the end, and nahnu is lam tansuru. So there is
nansur.
So there is a sakoon at the end.
Yeah, nahnu lam nansur.
Lam nansur.
Excellent. Is this clear for you now?
Yes, I think I need a lot of practice.
No, don't worry. If you understand it, the most important thing is understanding. And inshallah, practice makes perfect. And that's why we've done the whole lesson. And inshallah, if you want the recordings will be available, then you can listen to it again and again, and that will help you to inshallah practice. You got doctor. Doctor is a good way of practicing it with each other.
But you know what? He's retired, so he has the time. I'm still. It's not fair.
We need to send doctor back to work then.
He has all day, and I'm at work all day.
Okay. So, okay, Sister Tasneem iPad.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Sister Tasneem. Now, Fi'l Mudari Mansoob. Now, fi'l mudari mansub is when lan comes. Lan, which comes in the meaning of never, or he will not in the future. Now, when this comes in the singular forms, the last letter from a dhamma will change to a fatha. So lan yaftah, lan taftaha, lan taftaha, and lam aftah, lam naftah. So these forms here, which they have wrote the actual Arabic verbs. The reason why in these forms, the last letter, the ha, is changed to a fatha. And when you got these arrows pointing towards the left, it means that fi'l mudari majzoom, yaftaha, becomes the same here as well. So in the dual and the plurals, like in fi'l mudari majzoom, the noons are dropped. The same thing happens when lan is preceded by present tense. So it'll be lan yaftah, then lan yaftaha, lan yaftahu. Singular form will become lan taftah, lan taftaha, lan yaftahna. Then lan taftaha, same as over in the majzoom, lan taftaha, lan taftahu, lan taftahi, lan taftaha, lan taftahna. In the majzoom, it was after. When it lan comes, is mansub. It'll be lan aftaha, lan naftaha. Does that make sense, Tasneem?
Yeah.
Bismillah.
Yeah, but over here it says like, it lam yaftahu. So when it goes to lan, should it not be lam yaftaha because the zamma changes to fatha?
Yeah, it's changed. That's what it has. Lan yaftaha. It's got. It's
in this number 3 one in Homa. Lam yafta in this one in yaftahu. Yep. Yeah, yaftahu. So that the zamma would change to a fatha over here.
No. It remains the same.
Okay.
So go ahead now, Bismillah.
Okay.
So lan yaftaha, he will not.
Okay. Huwa lam yaftaha, he will not open.
Correct.
Huma yaftaha.
Huma lan yaftaha.
Huma yaftaha.
No, to say lan yaftaha.
Yeah, sorry, lan yaftaha. They both will not open. Hum yaftahu.
Lan yaftahu.
Lan yaftahu. They all will not open. And then here lan taftaha. Huma lan taftaha. Hunna lan yaftahna, because okay. This is it remains because noon is denotes the female. And anta lan taftaha, she did not open. Antuma lan taftaha, they both did not open. Antuma antum lan taftahu, lan taftahu, they all did not open. And anti taftahi, lan taftahi, and antuma lan taftaha, antunna lan taftahunna,
lan taftahna.
Taftahna, because this donates to the female.
Excellent.
And hunna lan naftaha.
Lan taftah hunna.
Lan naftaha.
No, antunna lan taftahna. Antunna.
Antunna lafta. Antunna
lan taftahna.
Lan taftahna. Lan taftahna.
Then I and we.
I and we. Oh, okay. I and we. Lan aftaha. and lan naftaha.
Lan taftaha. Excellent. Is this clear for you?
Yeah. I missed the other one. That's why I was making mistake. I missed the two above that.
Yeah. Jazakallah, that's brilliant. Sister Farhat.
Thank you.
Sister Farhat, Bismillah, you be last student, and then inshallah. Doctor, you want to have a go as well?
I can do.
Okay, let me just get Sister Farhat, and then once done Farhat, then I'll bring you on the mic. Bismillah. Sister Farhat.
Huwa ya'lamu, he
No.
knows.
Huwa ya'lam, he knows, and then we're going to do lan ya'lama. He will not know. Go ahead. Bismillah.
Huwa ya'lamu, he knows.
Excellent.
Lan ya'lama, he will not know. And from dhamma it becomes a fatha.
Excellent.
Huma ya'lamani, they too know. Huma ya'lama, the noon is dropped.
Excellent.
They will not know.
Excellent.
Hum ya'lamuna, they all know, they all masculine know. Hum ya'lamu, the noon is dropped and they will not know, masculine. Hiya ta'lamu, she knows. Hiya ta'lama, she will not know. The dhamma becomes a fatha. Huma ta'lamani, they too feminine know. Huma ta'lama, the noon is dropped.
Excellent.
They too will not know. Hunna ya'lamna, they all feminine know. Hunna ya'lamna, it remains the same. They will not know. Anta ta'lamu, you know, masculine. Anta lan ta'lama, the dhamma is becomes fatha and you will not know. Antuma ta'lamani, you two know. Antuma lan ta'lama, the noon is dropped, you will not know. Two of them. Antum ta'lamuna, they all masculine know. Lan ta'lamu, the noon is dropped and it's you all will not know. Anti ta'lamina, you feminine know. And lan ta'lami, the noon is dropped, you feminine will not know.
Excellent.
Antuma ta'lamani, you two feminine know. Lan ta'lama, the noon is dropped and it means you two will not know.
Excellent.
Antunna ta'lamna, you all feminine know. Antunna ta'lamna, again the same, remains the same, you all will not know. Ana a'lamu, I know. Lan a'lama, the dhamma becomes a fatha, I will not know. Nahnu na'lamu, we all know. Lan na'lama, the dhamma becomes a fatha, we all will not know.
Excellent. Is that clear for you?
Yes.
Brilliant. So when you read the Quran, whenever lam comes, you will understand why the sukoon has been dropped and what's happening now, inshallah. Right. Now, Dr. Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Bismillah. We are going to do lan yadriba. He will not hit.
Okay. Lan yazreba, he will not hit. Yazrebu, lan yazreba, he will not hit. Yazrebani, they will hit.
So
and lan yazreba, he will not hit.
Yep, they will not hit.
Okay. And yazrebuna, they will all not hit.
No, yadribuna, they all are hitting.
Yes, yazrebuna, they all are hitting. Lan yazrebuna, lan yazrebu, they will not hit.
Correct, they will not hit. They all will not hit. Excellent.
Okay. Tadribu, she will not hit.
No, tadribu, she is hitting. Tadribu, she is hitting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then lan tadribu, she will not hit. And
Lan
then
tadriba, she will not Lan tadr. Take your time. Take your time. There's no hurry. Lan tadriba. She will not hit.
Hit. And yazribani.
Correct.
Yazribani. She'll hit. Two will hit.
So there's a
And-
mistake here. It should be tadrib. There's ya. Should be a ta. Tadribani instead of yadribani. Tadribani becomes lan tadri.
Tadribna.
Tadriba. Lan tadriba. Correct.
Answer. Then that means that the two will not hit.
Excellent.
And then yazribna becomes yazribna, but lan tadribna means that they'll all not hit.
Yeah, they all will not. Lan hunna, lan yadribna, they all will not hit. Correct. Then anta.
Anta tadribu, she will not hit.
No, tadribu, you are hitting. One male.
Yeah, you're hitting. Okay. Lan tadribu, he will not hit.
Yep.
Will
Lan
you not-
tadriba, you will not hit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then tadribani, they two will not hit.
The tadribani, they both are hitting. And then lan tadriba, they both will not.
Hit.
Correct.
Okay. And tadribuna,
You are
they'll hit.
hitting.
You're hitting. And lan tadriba,
Lan tadribu,
they'll not hit.
they will not hit. Correct. Then tadribina,
Tadribina, she will not hit. She'll hit.
you know, tadribina is anti, you one female.
She'll hit.
You will hit.
And then
You.
you will hit. You will hit female. Tadribi, lan tadribi,
Correct.
she'll not
You will not
hit.
hit. You one female will not hit. Correct. Then tadribani will become
Lan tadriba,
excellent.
the two females will not hit.
They both, two females will not hit. And then tadribna will become
Lan tadribna means that all the females will not hit.
you all females will not hit. Correct. I and we,
Azrib, Azrib means that I will not hit.
lan adriba, I will not hit.
And lan nazriba, we all will not hit.
We all will not hit. Jazakallah khairul jaza. Ahsantum.
Thank you,
Right.
thank you, thank you.
MashaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you very much. Did everyone understand everything today?
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Shukran, alhamdulillah.
Yes,
Brilliant.
alhamdulillah.
So this is a very important part of the Arabic language, which I have, alhamdulillah, been able to complete it today. So now, once I've done this, when you read the Quran, you will understand. And now what I want you to do, I want you to read the Quran, and whenever you see the noon has been dropped, or the fatha, or noon with the kasra, or the noon has been dropped, write those ayat or the words down and come back to me in class, because I haven't taught you all of the particles of mansub, which make the present tense into the state of a fatha itself. So I want you to see what you can bring up, because there's more particles than lan. There's 3 other ones which make the fi'l mudari marfu to a fatha as well, inshallah. So from next week, I'll take about 5 minutes just to give you the other particles of majzoom and mansub, and then once I've done that, then I'll go back to the book and then start reading the book again, inshallah, and continue the book, because alhamdulillah, we've done quite a few lessons on different parts of grammar, which was essential. So inshallah, next week we'll go back to the book and continue the lessons from the book now, inshallah, because we've probably missing the book.
Sheikh, are we specifically looking for lam or for lan as well?
There are 4. I'll tell you. There's an, lan, kay, izan. An, lan, kay, izan. These are the 4 particles which make the present tense in the state of mansub. And for the fi'l mudari majzoom, there are also lam, lamma, lamul amr, and la nahi. There are 4 particles which make the present tense in the state of majzoom. Lam, lamma, lamul amr, like this one here, and la nahi, la yansur. So you will see these particles. So inshallah, we will do them next week as well. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. Any questions from anyone?
Sorry, Sheikh, I'm sorry, I'm repeating. So am I just looking for ayahs that have lam, or you want me to look for
Yeah, that's fine. Just
other
look for
ones?
ayahs with lam and lan, that's fine. That'll be
Lam
perfectly
and
fine.
lan, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll teach you.
Any specific ayah that you want us to look at, or?
If you wanted to do I think if you do Surah Baqarah
Surah Baqarah.
Surah Baqarah would be easier, or
Okay.
Because it's easier for yourself. There's a lot of ayat.
Inshallah. Thank you, Sheikh.
No problem.
Jazakallah.
Okay, inshallah. Hope everyone find it useful and beneficial. And
Thank you so much.
See you next week. Next week.
Jazakallah.
محتاج دعاء إن شاء الله. في أمان الله.